Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. The RTGAC is back in today. We're coming to you live here from a morning episode. We will be coming to you live from an afternoon episode, but because of the fact that we have some advisory talk thing at the time we would usually film, we are not able to go live at that time. We're coming to you live here from the morning, right after our spring break. And before we get into the rundown, Cole, say what's up to the people.
Good morning, everyone. Like Ryan said, here on a Monday morning. Just trying to bring the energy as much as possible, and let's get right into it.
Cole was in Florida this past week. I mean, for baseball, how was that?
I mean, I can't ask for much better for a spring break, but I had a lot of fun. Got to really bond with the guys, I guess, and happy to get the season started.
All right, we'll be covering baseball as the season does progress. Lacrosse is up in the air. We don't know what we're doing with that. We're trying to get crews together and stuff like that. We will obviously update you guys. WSJP Instagram, Twitter, or X if you want to call it. We'll update you guys on the schedule of the days that we should be doing games, and obviously baseball will fall into that as well. So anyway, let's get into the rundown of today's episode. We will be having our weekly Sixers recap as they have, 3-1, I think, since last Monday. We'll just talk about those games. Or 1-3, sorry. Then we will be talking about Eagles free agency. The Eagles lost a lot of guys. They signed some guys. We'll be talking about that. And then Cole will be giving his March Madness first and second round predictions, any upsets and stuff like that he might have. And then we'll be talking about the NBA MVP race. Is it Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? We'll be going over that. Gerrit Cole out for the season. What is it, shoulder injury, Cole? Something around there?
Yeah,
shoulder injury. He will be out for the season. Cole will be going over that, what that means for the AL and all that good stuff. And then Ryan's rants to end off the episode. Cole, as I just mentioned, the Philadelphia 76ers since last Monday are 1-3 with a win with an unfortunate win last night over the Dallas Mavericks. And I say that just because we're tanking. So talk about this team.
So pretty much all I got to say is Quentin Grimes is our best player right now, and he's the only guy I really enjoy watching. I haven't really watched any games in the past week, to be honest with you, Ryan, just because of how horrible this team is. Jared Butler's done a solid job facilitating. Yabusele. I still think we should have dealt him at the deadline, just because we're not going to re-sign him. It's just going to be, we're just letting him walk in free agency, so might as well get an asset for him. But I mean, yeah, and he could be productive on a playoff team. But other than that, I really have nothing to talk about. We are being investigated for tanking or whatever. But, so hopefully we don't lose the pick or anything. But
we'll see. When you have 10 guys out, that is a clear indicator that you are tanking. I mean, there was also a report that the Dallas Mavericks could be forced to lose games because of salary cap and missed not having enough guys, and I thought that was absolutely insane. I don't know. This is just an honest disaster. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to Daryl Morey, who has got to go. But I mean, just overall this week, we don't really need to get anything specific because every game was just bad. I mean, it's just the same problems. There's no chemistry. The defensive switching is terrible. If you saw Oklahoma City last night play against Milwaukee, I mean, they did an absolute incredible job defending off the switch. I mean, their switches were absolutely incredible. Even guys like Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren were switching well on the perimeter. And you don't even see some of the better guards that the Sixers have do that. And it's just not looking good. Offensively, there's just no chemistry around this team. And it's a shame. It is a real shame to see. But what are you going to do at the end of the day?
And they're going on a 5-game road trip here.
Yeah,
so
we have a tough road trip. We have to play Houston, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, even without Victor Wembanyama, is tough on the road, and it's just not looking good. But we only have less than a month until we're out of our misery, and we can talk about the Phillies, who hopefully will be a little bit more better, I guess you could say.
Yeah. more hopeful because they should make the playoffs.
Right.
Or
But,
should be close.
right. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's talk about the Eagles a little bit before we get into March Madness. So, I was on live stream last I don't even know, last Monday, last Wednesday, whatever it was, with our producer Anthony Sorgi, talking about NFL free agency, and something that is really bothering me is that people are just so upset about losing our guys. And Cole, I'm not saying that these guys weren't, very helpful in us winning a Super Bowl. We lost Darius Slay. We lost Isaiah Rodgers. We lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We lost Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Kenneth Gainwell. I'm probably missing somebody. But anyway, we have – it's not like we don't have guys to replace them. So let's go through the list. Milton Williams. We have Ojimo. Didn't he get a sack in the Super Bowl? My man Thomas Booker. That guy's a dog. I love Thomas Booker. We re-signed Bond, so that's good. But we lost Oren Burks. That's who I forgot.
But we get back McCoby Dean.
We get back Dean, but then also we have Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He's from St. Joe's Prep. He knows he's his father played on the Eagles. They obviously understand the way, I guess you could say. We lost. Now my biggest concern is in the secondary because we did lose Isaiah Rodgers. I was planning on re-signing him, but we also lost Darius Slay. But then we also have Kale Ringo. Yep. He's been
signed to Dory Jackson as well.
Dory Jackson. I mean, that's it is what it is. But we have him as well, and we could obviously go in the draft. I'm not too sure about the corners in the draft. I'm a big fan of the defensive linemen in this draft, though. And then we lost Josh Sweat, but we have Hunt. Hunt played great in the Super Bowl, in my opinion, and is a really good edge rusher. He has some snaps over the course of the season. Nolan Smith, obviously. I'm talking about the replacements.
Yeah.
And then we lost Kenneth Gainwell. Well, we have Shipley to take that role to be a receiving back, and we signed A.J. Dillon as a power back. So I'm happy about this. We also lost Covey, but we did sign Avery Williams. Dallas Goedert looks like he's gone. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm not. I think Mason Taylor will be gone by the time the second or third round. Well, not the second, but at least by the time the third round comes around. Yeah. So I don't know. There is a guy out of Florida that's decent as well.
I could see him. I don't know, but how he could trade up for Tyler Warren.
You see, I'm not too interested in that though.
But we also signed Kylan Granson as well from the Colts.
But also there's Loveland as well available, and I wouldn't mind taking him.
Calcaterra.
Yeah, but
scored a touchdown against the Panthers.
This is true.
I called it
for your fantasy. But I'm not too he's not the best receiver. He's a good blocker, very good blocker. It's just he's not the receiver that Goddard is. I don't know if we could cut Goddard and trying to bring him back on a cheaper deal. I assume he'll have partners though, even though he has some injury problems. I don't know. But the bottom line is that we shouldn't panic. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I forgot to talk about him. Yeah. We signed Josh Hughes to be a edge rusher as well. We have what's his face, Sidney Brown. There's not a bigger Sidney Brown fan than me. I mean, I love that guy can play.
Christian McCollum.
Sidney Brown's a lot better.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd rather McCollum. I swear, if it's Avonte Maddox, don't even try with me. Even though he was another. To be honest, everybody played great in the Super Bowl, so I guess.
I don't care. Avonte Maddox is.
Everybody played great in the Super Bowl, so I guess I shouldn't use that analysis. But regardless, the bottom line is that we have replacements for the guys that we lost, and they're on cheaper and rookie deals. Only guy we got to get rid of is Bryce Huff. That's all we got to do. Anyway, something that's going to take up probably the majority of our time here over the next 15 minutes or so. March Madness. It was Selection Sunday yesterday, and there wasn't too much controversy. I think the only thing that was really controversial was UNC being one of the first few in.
Oh my gosh.
I was actually pretty surprised about.
It's absolutely horrendous.
I was actually surprised that Xavier was one of the first four in because I thought they were going to be one of the first four out, but they were in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cole. Let's go over March Madness here. Any upsets that you might have, and any big stuff like that. All
right, so let's just go through the matchups if you want to go through with me.
All right.
I got Auburn winning in the first round. I think that they're way too good to be losing very fast, I guess you would say.
Right.
And then I got Louisville beating Creighton here. I like Creighton's efficiency from the field, but I mean Louisville just got too much star power, and Pop Isaac is out for Creighton, so I'm just gonna give that one to Louisville. I'm taking Michigan over Cal. And then big upset here. I got Yale over Texas A&M.
I agree.
My mom went to Yale, so I had to pick that one for her.
I agree with Yale.
Ole Miss, San Diego State playing with UNC. I like San Diego State here, but I'm gonna take Ole Miss. I just think Padula is he's just too good of a weapon offensively, and I don't think San Diego State or UNC. I still can't believe they made it, but whatever.
Right.
I'm taking Iowa State over Lipscomb. Unfortunately, I'm taking Marquette over New Mexico.
Yeah.
Our producer Anthony Sorti likes that. Michigan State over Bryant, pretty easy.
Yeah, Michigan State don't lose first round. If you're even if you have an all upset bracket, do not pick Michigan State to lose. They never lose first round. I've made that mistake the last couple of years.
Florida beating Norfolk.
Yeah.
I got Oklahoma over UConn.
Ooh, okay.
This is a pretty hot take. I like UConn here against the top 25, but Oklahoma, they kind of got exposed in the SEC. I really like they shoot 37 from three, and they don't miss big-time free throws. They shoot almost 80%. I like Fears, their guard, averaging 17 a game, so I'm going to take Oklahoma there. Moving on, Memphis, Colorado State. Colorado State's pretty hot right now, but I'm going to take Memphis strictly off of coaching. I think Penny Hardaway's way too good to lose in the first round. Memphis has been challenged before, but Colorado's pretty hot. Yeah, I'll give it to them. But 38% from three from Memphis. PJ Haggerty. Dante Harris is out, apparently, but I don't think he's going to play that big of a deal. I think PJ Haggerty's going to be gross for them. Now, McKee Clifford could pop off for Colorado State, but I wouldn't bet on it. Moving on, Maryland, Grand Canyon. Maryland, this one's way too easy. Missouri, Drake. A lot of people picking Drake, and I'm one of them.
Really?
I just love Drake. I mean, they're shooting 48 from the field. Bennett Sturtz he's averaging 19 a game. I really like what he's been doing. He's averaging almost 6 assists. He's playing 40 minutes. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna have it. And Mark Mitchell for Missouri, he's game time decision. He's playing hurt. So I really like Drake here. They've only lost 3 games. I'm a big fan of Drake in this matchup here. Kansas, Arkansas, again, people have Arkansas winning this one. I got Kansas, way too much experience. Hunter Dickinson, he's going to be, he was great on Michigan a couple years ago, and I think he can still establish that dominance, especially in the tournament. Arkansas, they have a bunch of shooters, but they're just not efficient enough from three, especially. Adu Thiero, he's solid for Arkansas, but he's also game time decision, so that could affect his playing time as well.
I'm not trusting Calipari.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm picking against Arkansas is because that man ruined my bracket last year. Video coming out tonight, by the way, 6 p.m. Eastern time, about my full bracket analysis stuff.
Then I got St. John's, pretty easy one for me. Moving on to the East, I got Duke. They're blowing them out by 30. I got Mississippi State over Baylor. I like Baylor's defense a lot, but I think Mississippi State is just a little bit too good right now. Josh Hubbard, I think, will have a good game. It's tough for me to decide. I think this is going to be a really good game, but I will take Mississippi State here. I think they're going to come out shooting hot. And then here, I got back-to-back upsets. Liberty over Oregon, Akron over Arizona. The only reason I picked Akron was because Arizona, I despise Caleb Love. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like him. Also, Arizona's not good enough from three, in my opinion. Nate Johnson should have a good game, guard for Akron. And then the Liberty, Oregon, I really like Liberty. They're the 6th best three-point shooters in the country, shooting 39 from three. And I love my threes, and they're shooting 50 from the field. They're super efficient. They really struggle from the line. That's really bad. But I really like Liberty here. One problem, Nate Biddle could dominate for Oregon center. He's really solid. He could dominate the boards, and that could be Liberty's downfall. But right now I'm taking Liberty. BYU, VCU. A lot of people, Sorgi, he's got VCU. I don't understand that.
I have it as well.
I don't understand it. BYU is too good, man. I mean, they've beaten a ton of top teams. I like their offense a lot. They're averaging 81 points per game. They shoot 37 from three, 48 from the field.
Yeah, but who's got one of the
Richie Saunders?
Who's got one of the best defenses in this tournament?
Look at the tournament. Look at the efficiency.
Look at the
VCU hasn't played anyone. They lost to Dayton.
But hold on. You got to look at the stats right now. You got to look at the defense. You got to look at the steal rate at this right now.
All right. Well, when BYU beats them.
All right, we'll come back on the show.
Yeah, we will. We will be back. I got Wisconsin over Montana in a big victory. St. Mary's over Vandy.
Yeah,
Bama over whoever.
Robert
Morris. I mean, hey, props to them for getting in the tournament.
Mm.
Midwest, taking Houston and Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga is too good to lose this quick.
Yeah.
I really like their offense. I think they score way too much. They shoot 50% from the field. Graham Ike should be Graham Ike, Asa Newell will be, a matchup that'll feed families. But I really like Gonzaga in this one. Clemson, McNeese, Clemson, they're super efficient. I really like their defense as well. McNeese just hasn't really played anyone that great. Clemson shooting 37 from the field. Chase Hunter should be honestly, Allen Breed, he should match up well against Chase Hunter, but I just don't know if Allen Breed can keep up defensively with Chase Hunter because he's just so shifty. Then I got High Point over Purdue.
Oh, yeah, Justin Bodo, man. The 7-footer. Let's go. I'm telling you.
I like Kezagifa for High Point. They shoot 50 from the field. Purdue's very efficient, though. If they knock down threes, they're going to win this one. But right now I got High Point. And then here's a hot take. I mean, I got Illinois getting upset in the first round.
I'm banking
whether or
on
not,
Texas.
whether it's Texas or Xavier, I think I'm just going to stick with them.
I'm banking on Texas to win. Because I think if Texas, I think if Xavier wins, I think Illinois will win. I'm banking on Texas.
Illinois shoots 31 from three. I don't really like that. Xavier's really good from three. I think that they'll have a tough time defending. Obviously, Texas has been really hot as of late. I like Trey Johnson a lot for Xavier. I like Zach Freemantle. I think they match up very, very well against Illinois. I don't think Illinois is that good of a team. Then I got Kentucky over Troy. I think Troy's the worst team in this bracket minus UNC, who I don't think is making it out of the play-in. Then I got Utah State over UCLA. I just like Utah's offense here. They're pretty efficient. I like Ian Martinez. He's a guy who can score a bunch of points.
They go into their bench, too, which I like.
Yeah, very deep roster. Then I'll take Tennessee over Wofford. Pretty obvious there. Moving on to the second round, and I'll keep this pretty quick. Auburn over Louisville. I'm taking Yale to the Sweet 16. I really like them. I think Michigan, they're just super. I mean, Yale scores a lot, and they're very efficient. They shoot 40. They shoot almost 40% from three. So I really like them in this matchup. Michigan, they're solid. Golan could be a problem for them on the offensive boards, but I think, Yale's guard play will end up winning this one for them. Force a bunch of turnovers. Then Iowa, Ole Miss. I got Iowa State. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think Mississippi State or Ole Miss is going to have a pretty tough time getting out the first round, and then I think they get steamrolled by Iowa State. I got Michigan State beating Marquette by 50. Then I got Florida over Oklahoma. I got Memphis over Maryland in a very, very close matchup. And then I got Texas Tech over Drake. I just don't think Drake is good enough to get to the Sweet 16, so I'll take them. St. John's, easy win over Kansas.
Yeah.
Then Duke over Mississippi State, Liberty over Akron, BYU over Wisconsin, Bama over St. Mary's. I like BYU over Wisconsin just because I think BYU is going to be shooting very, very well, especially off their first round win. And I think Wisconsin, they don't shoot well enough to keep up with BYU a little bit. Wisconsin. The one thing I am scared of is Wisconsin does not miss free throws. They shoot 83% from the line, and John Toney is just absolutely electric for them. So I'll still take BYU, though. And then I'm taking Houston over Gonzaga in a pretty easy victory. Clemson over High Point. And then, big upset here, I'm taking the play-in over Kentucky.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Texas Xavier over Kentucky. I like Kentucky a lot. They played a lot of good opponents. They got very good offense. I think Texas is too hot, but I think Xavier shoots too well. Again, Kentucky's very, very efficient, but I just think Trey Johnson's going to be too much to handle, especially the way he's been playing recently.
I like him. He's been good.
And then I'll take Tennessee, and then I'll round out my first and second rounds here, and then you'll get the rest of my predictions on next episode. So
my predictions once again will come out on tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, full bracket analysis. I think it's actually shorter than my past year's videos. This is like a 26-minute video. Last year, like past year's been like 45 minutes of 50, and that was just too long. But actually, what I disagree with, I'm taking Creighton. I'm taking the experience to win. And then I also had them upsetting Auburn second round.
Wow, that's really hot take.
I don't trust Auburn to win in a close game situation. Look at their double overtime loss to Alabama. They should have won that in regulation. So I'm not taking.
I think Todd Pettiford is too good off the bench for them.
I
like Creighton, but Pop Isaacs is out.
No, I mean I can't give you a reason why it's going to happen. I can just tell you that this is March Madness, and I get screwed every year by a bunch of stupid stuff. And if the favorites actually win, I'm going to throw my phone, computer, iPad, TV all through the window. I might even throw my own computer through the window. Anyway, one team that I think could be upset, but we're both picking is Michigan, who I predict will be going to the Sweet 16.
I have them losing to Yale in the second round.
Yeah,
big time upset.
Yeah,
big time upset.
Yeah, but nobody knew who UC San Diego was.
I got Yale, Mount St. Mary's in the chip.
It's because it's their first year they can ever make the tournament.
Yeah, but nobody knew who UC San Diego was coming into this tournament, so I don't want to hear it. What do you call it?
Yeah, San Diego's horrible. No offense.
What do you call it? And then I was gonna pick Florida to lose to UConn, but I did take them to win. Just because once again it's another team I don't know if I can trust in late game situations, and you're looking at Dan Hurley, probably the most experienced coach going into this tournament. And then I love St. John's in this tournament. Everybody's getting mad at me. All 3-point percentage. Defense, man. Rick Pitino. I'm telling you right now.
And you guys still choose Houston to lose in the round of 32. So I don't really understand it. Too big on St. John's in my opinion.
Yes, I am taking Gonzaga second round over Houston.
Yeah, that's
historically
that's
you can't.
horrible.
Historically, you can't trust Houston, and you know it.
Oh my God, Gonzaga is absolutely horrible. They shoot well, but
I'm looking at history right here. Listen, you have Ike inside the paint, offensive rebound, scoring inside.
Oh my God.
I don't know if they can handle him. And then I think Gonzaga has made
historically. It's a new year, Ryan.
Yeah,
Gonzaga's not that good
history
anymore.
repeats itself, Cole.
No.
And
Houston shoot 40 from 3. 40 from 3.
All right, and if they have
LJ Cryer's way too good.
And if they have an off day, who's getting the rebounds? My man Graham Ike. I'd love to do an interview with him. He sounds like a cool dude. Anyway,
Graham Ike,
nonetheless, Gonzaga, they've made like 8 straight Sweet 16s. I'm not taking it to not happen again. And they've done it as low seeds as well. I got to take them. Duke, that's an obvious one. I'm also taking St. Mary's to beat Alabama. Alabama, Cole, you remember from that first Auburn game and games throughout the season, they were very, very cold. St. Mary's is one of the best defensive teams, definitely a top 10 defensive team in the country. I've taken them to win. I'm also taking VCU over Wisconsin. Defense again. When I analyze in this tournament,
VCU's not making it out the first round.
Yeah, but when I analyze in this tournament, I take defense and 3-point shooting into consideration.
Oh my gosh! All right.
What's any other upsets that I have? I'm taking Kentucky. I'm
me.
taking Kentucky in the Sweet 16. I swear to God, if they screw me over again, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm high on Tennessee as well, even though they did lose to Florida. They don't got to play them. They don't have to play them until that would be actually the championship. They wouldn't have to play them. So they don't got to deal with their only, I think, competition that I think could possibly beat them. I love Tennessee right now. Based once again, defense is their biggest thing. I'd say this is the toughest defensive team in the tournament right now.
Ooh, wow. All right. I mean, hey, you can have their own opinions.
All right. I don't think there's any other upsets that I do have. I know you didn't have Missouri winning first round. I do have them winning, but I do have them losing second round to Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech is.
And then I don't know. I feel like people are underestimating Texas Tech just a little bit. They have an opportunity to beat St. John's, but once again, I like defense over them. I like defense for St. John's, and
we like defense for St. John's, but not defense for Houston.
Yeah, the defense for Houston can crack. I'm sorry. Yeah, the defense for Houston can crack as well. I don't know if I trust the 3-point shooting, and I also trust Gonzaga historically.
Trust their 3-point shooting. They have the best 3-point shooting in the entire tournament, Ryan.
It's madness, Cole.
Oh my god!
I can't give you a reason why they're going to lose. I'm just telling you that it's going to happen.
That's absolutely wrong. All right.
I'm just telling you it's going to happen. All right, let's move on. We will move on to our.
Agree to disagree. Houston's going to the Final Four.
Oh, Cole, come on! They would have to face Tennessee.
They're gonna blow Tennessee out the water.
We're literally talking about defense here. Tennessee is probably the best defense in the whole tournament.
Tennessee's gonna go to the final.
Nah, you're gonna be Duke.
Sorgi, just stop.
Yes, I have them beating Duke.
Oh, come on, Sorgi.
Oh my
What are we doing
gosh.
here? All right. Anyway, let's move
I
on.
have Baylor beating Duke. So.
Oh, Ryan!
Wow.
That
Duke.
is horrendous.
At least I have Duke getting.
I have
to the
Mount
final,
St. Mary's
yeah.
beating Duke, so.
Bro, Baylor's nasty.
Yeah. Moving on. We're moving on. NBA MVP race. Listen, it's obvious. It's a two-way race. Shea and Nikola Jokic. I don't know. I'm very on the fence about this one. I'm looking at both guys at the current moment in time, and I'm looking at them as two guys that have split games against each other in just the last few weeks. You're looking at Shea, who he dropped 40 against Denver in that first game, but then Jokic had a really good game as well in the second game. So I'm very on the fence right now, and winning obviously matters overall against a team when it comes to an individual race. This isn't the NFL, where defense and all that has to be taken into consideration. So I'm very on the fence. I would say right now, one of my arguments last time about Shea was that he had the better record and that Jokic was bottom down in the standings. Obviously, the Denver has ascended to the second seed, but I don't know if that's because of the fact that teams like Memphis, Houston, the Lakers have taken a drop off. I feel like you can't really even use that argument for Denver because of the fact that they ascended off the dissension of other teams, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then, but
Jokic
also,
has been
but
so good.
here's something that I hate. People use the free throw argument against Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. If you took away free throws from the game, Shea would still average the most points in the NBA.
Yeah.
So you can't use that argument. I don't know. I'm very on the fence right now. I would say right now, even though there has been dissension from other teams, I'm not going to be hypocritical in my argument of winning. So I am going to give Jokic the edge right now.
I agree.
But when LeBron comes back and the Lakers ascend, if Houston can get back on their groove, if Memphis can get back on their groove, it will be subject to change based off the winning stat. Because Shea might be the most unstoppable player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
There is no place on the floor can you stop him. He's also one of the best defensive leaders as well. I think you have to take that into consideration. I'm going to give Jokic the slight edge just because he has his team.
I think that 30-20-20 pretty much put him right back in the conversation.
Just because he ascended, his team has ascended, though it could be because of the dissension of other teams, and his overall stats are better. But let's talk about Gerrit Cole real quickly, and then we'll get into Ryan's rants, and then we'll wrap things up.
I don't really have much on Gerrit Cole. I mean, you end up well, here's the thing. I mean, you sign Max Fried, which gives you a lot of leeway here. But, I mean, you have Carlos Rodon, you have Luis Kiel, you have Marcus Stroman, you have Clark Schmidt. So you have leeway here, even though Gerrit Cole went out with Tommy John. here's the problem. I just don't see, them going as far in the playoffs because I don't think of Max Fried as a number one type of guy. I mean, he's great and all, but I don't know, man. I just don't see him playing well, and especially in that ballpark. I mean, a lot of lefties, a lot of pull happy hitters. They're gonna have a lot of home runs off of him. Just because I don't think his stuff is as good anymore because he's aging and because he's, I don't know. I just don't see this. Obviously, you lose your number one guy, you lose your Cy Young. But, I mean, how much was he really going to help you down the stretch? Because he was going 200 innings. And, I mean, you saw him in that, in that World Series run, didn't cover first base. He was obviously getting fatigued. He wasn't very great in the playoffs. He was good in the beginning. But, I mean, he got out-dueled by, a bunch of guys in that. I mean, the Yankees just got out-dueled by the Dodgers, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I really don't have much more on this. It's just a tough blow for the Yankees because they've been looking forward to this. But, hey, it's the Yankees, man.
Definitely. All right, Ryan's rants. Let's do it.
Why did it take so long to fire Kyle Neptune?
I mean, listen, this guy was an absolute disgrace for 3 years. Why this guy was hired in the first place is unbelievable. He had like a 500 record at Fordham. The year he leaves, they were like an incredible team. And now, I understand he had a winning record, but his best play was throw it around the perimeter a couple times and shoot the three. I don't think I ever saw him call one play in his entire time at Villanova. The guy walks around thinking he's the main character. You're not the main character. You got some of the best scorer in the entire nation, and you still can't find ways to win. He also used the transfer portal terribly. We don't have time for that, but we could discuss that at a different moment in time. Next topic.
Tom Thibodeau overworking his players.
Jalen Brunson's out. Thank God you have Mikal Bridges, who is more durable than, I don't know, what's a durable thing? A house. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, Mikal Bridges is so durable. You're running guys into the ground. By the time the playoffs come around again, they're going to be injured, and Thibodeau's going to be like, we're just going to have to, then we'll have to go deeper into our bench. They're literally going to have to force him to go deeper into his bench. Why can't he play his bench guys? The Knicks are such an incredible and deep team. He won't play his bench. They're going to be destroyed by the time the second round comes around. We're going to have to tell Jamie that it was another Mickey Mouse run by the Celtics because the coaching of Tom Thibodeau is absolutely ridiculous. Not that they will beat the Celtics, but you get my point.
How did BKFC lose to Jeremy Stevens?
Well, they lost Jeremy Stevens to the UFC. They're probably their most marketable fighter at the current moment in time, and they just let him walk for nothing. Literally for nothing to the UFC. How can you do that? The BKFC, they are literally losing all their guys because they're letting them fight with one fight left on their contract. How do you lose your most marketable guys and your champions? Because, I don't even know. It's just bad business. It's so ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing. You lose them to the best promotion. He's probably going to be getting paid a lot more money as well. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, guys, that'll do for the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed. Lots of March Madness stuff to discuss over the next couple of weeks. And, yeah, that'll do for the latest edition. We will see you guys later. Peace.